Guys, we're out here today with my Sig Sauer P320, and what I'm going to do is actually show you guys a few steps that you can do that you should incorporate into your training to try to help build your proficiency with your firearm. This is something that you can do with most firearms, but I would particularly suggest that you use this exercise with your everyday carry firearm. You need to know that that gun is going to perform the way that you need it to, when you need it to, as well as build your proficiency with that firearm in the event that something should happen. Guys, in this video I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about how you can use some spent casings to help you as a training aid in working with your firearms. In front of me here I have got my Sig Sauer P320. You know, this is a gun that I've had for quite some time. There has been some controversy about this gun. Some people like it, some people hate it. I think that it's a good gun. I've got several videos on why, so go back on my channel and check them out. But what I wanted to do in this video is actually talk about how using some of these can help you simulate a malfunction. One of the things that you need to be training is how you would deal with any kind of a situation, and particularly if you were to have some type of a malfunction with your firearm. And a good way of doing that is to actually stage a malfunction. Of course, for demonstration purposes only, you know, I'm just going to be throwing a couple of these randomly in this magazine, and this is going to help us practice the tap rack bang. Now, a disadvantage of this is I'm loading this magazine for demonstration purposes for you guys. A better way of doing this is to have a friend of yours to load the magazine for you, randomly putting a couple of casings in it. Also, you can load a magazine, put it away somewhere for a while, and then come back to it at a later date and load it in the gun then. But what you basically want to do is to try to simulate a failure, an unknown failure, an unexpected failure, that sort of thing. Of course, with this, you know, I'm here literally loading them as you guys are watching, but it's not the best way, but it is just a way to demonstrate this technique for you. And it will not work with all guns. Some guns just simply will not chamber a spent casing. You know, it just won't do it. My Sig, I've had no problem with it chambering them. I do this fairly regularly with that, but you can get snap caps if your gun does not like them. There again, we just got a couple thrown in. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and show you how you would practice this technique. Now, I'd actually talked about dealing with malfunctions in another video on my channel, using some snap caps and things like that. Go back and check that out. But what I wanted to do in this video is to actually come out to the range, stage these malfunctions for you to kind of give you a better idea of how you can deal with them in a real-life situation. Again, guys, this is a drill intended to help you learn to become more proficient with your firearm, but I would strongly suggest that you get some training, you know, seek out a qualified instructor. But here we are with our 320. I do have the rounds randomly placed in the magazine as I'd shown you before. Not the best way of doing it, guys, because I know exactly where they're at. That's why I suggest doing this with a partner, with an instructor. Let them load that magazine for you, randomly putting those casings inside that magazine. That way it's a little more realistic for you. So what we will do, this is basically the tap rack bang drill where you will deal with a malfunction. Okay, one of the problems is that if you don't have that magazine seated properly, you want to make sure that you get it seated properly. When you tap that magazine, you rack that slide. If you have a bad cartridge, then it will eject that cartridge. But let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Okay, aim, fire. I heard the click. Again, tap. Make sure that magazine is seated properly. Rack that bad round out, and we're back in the fight. Click. Get that bad one out. Okay, just like that. There again, guys, this is just a demonstration purpose. We do have that slide locked back. Now that can be that we either have a double feed or the gun could be empty. Either way, what you want to do is basically reload that gun. If you can't get that magazine to fall out, you want to strip that magazine out, get that fresh mag in, and get back in the fight. The whole purpose of this exercise is to deal with as many problems as possible using as few steps as possible. What I have now is I have staged a double feed in my firearm, And of course, your initial reaction is going to be to tap that magazine, rack that slide just in case you have a bad cartridge. And then if that doesn't work, you simply want to reload the gun. Okay, you know, there again, guys, the tap and rack hasn't solved the problem. Next thing you know, my assumption, or from, you know, in slide lock, I need to get that gun reloaded. So first step, if that magazine won't come out, strip that magazine out, rack that slide to make sure that there's no empty rounds or anything like that stuck in there, and get that gun back in the fight just as quick as you can. Guys, hope you liked the video. These are just some basic steps to help build your proficiency with a firearm. I would encourage you strongly to get some professional training. But guys, thanks for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Check out all the links down in the description below. Be sure to visit my website at boomsticktactical.com. Be sure to share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.